Hello, everybody, and today we are talking about our marginal threats across parts of kind of that western Nebraska, Wyoming area up there, and kind of parts of Colorado also, and then also down into parts of Texas and then western Oklahoma. That is our really only potential for severe weather today. Not expecting anything huge out of it, however. Of course, there were tornado warnings in the marginal yesterday in Idaho, so that does not leave out the potential for a tornado warning. So we're going to be watching these storms. The ones up in kind of that Rockies area are going to be moving a lot quicker than the ones down in Texas, because those ones up there in the Rockies are kind of aided by that mountain environment. So we're going to see winds upwards of like 50 and 60 knots, so a little bit of a speedier storm. So we're not expecting anything tornadic, but we could see some damaging winds of those storms, but once again, not expecting anything too crazy. Across parts of Texas, we're going to see some pop-up cells, potentially some supercells, but it's going to be kind of a closer to the time thing, because in this area we are seeing potentially record highs today. So we can see them upwards of 100, 102 in some places. So it is definitely going to be kind of a convection environment down there, but it is a capped environment, so we're not expecting those to kind of build and go any distance. So as I mentioned, your temperatures, and we are seeing these potentially record highs across parts of the Texas Panhandle into Oklahoma, and even in the parts of New Mexico, and obviously in Arizona. Now, those are potentially record highs in there. We could see them hit the record or not, but a few key things. We do see still kind of that colder environment over parts of the Northeast, and that is thanks to that big kind of a trough. It's kind of like a teardrop shape currently that we're seeing, and it is bringing some colder air and kind of out of Canada there, and allowing some colder temperatures behind the rain to go through there. And so the Northeast is going to be a soaker for you today. It's also going to be a little bit chilly, but we will see the return of these warmer temperatures probably by the end of the weekend, is where we'll see some higher temperatures, and hopefully we can kind of get to that spring and that really May feel. Hopefully we can get out of this really potential for snow in the Northeast. We can kind of start to enjoy these warmer temps, and then across the country start to enjoy that May feel. So that about does it for the temperatures, because there's nothing really exciting about that. A few key things. The reason we do see these kind of a higher environment storms that could potentially pop up but not go severe in these super hot temperatures is because these super hot temperatures, there is a temperature that it gets too hot for storm development, and it kind of kills the storm. There is such thing as too much heat. So that's why we're not expecting these crazy huge storms with tons of energy across parts of Texas. So checking out what we could see rain-wise today, we see throughout the day that kind of system move out of the Northeast, and then kind of some lingering showers across parts of Massachusetts to clear up the Maine. We do see a system of potentially just some rain kind of working its way from Minnesota clear down into Indiana throughout parts of the day. We will see that cross into the Great Lakes and then kind of affect the Northeast tomorrow, potentially with some light rain. But our big thing is focusing on first what's happening up there in the Rockies. We do see that there is a line of thunderstorms that forms right about mid-afternoon time, and then we see it kind of split up, and we see some cells enter Nebraska as a little bit more severe. And those storms really strengthen right around sunset, and that is going to allow some kind of that last second energy to build, and then maybe one or two of those could go severe. Looks like right about the Kansas and Nebraska border, based on the NAM CONUS, has the highest chance of that. So checking out that in Texas, what that threat is. And once again, this is just some pop-ups, and the NAM CONUS isn't showing much impressiveness in these storms right in there, but our big thing is some of those tiny cells could put down a lot of rain at once, maybe a few downbursts. So not expecting any big storms. Our biggest chance for storms is going to be up kind of Nebraska, Colorado, kind of Kansas area. But as far as we're concerned with Oklahoma and Texas, not expecting anything huge. So that is about it for today. We do see some rain entering up in the northwest, but that does it. And so we hope to see you tomorrow for our weekend forecast. And it's looking like a calmer weekend, which is nice considering for basically the last month we have had outbreak after outbreak. So it's going to be nice to have a break. So hopefully it gets up warmer here. We're checking out the outlooks, and we'll focus on that on Monday, is what our monthly outlook is on what to expect for the month of May. Well, we hope to see you then, and have a great day and weekend.